living.
I'll tell you exactly the way I feel about it.
Okay.
It was very difficult for me having my legitimate career and being known to the public to a certain degree at first.
Lisa Loring was a successful Hollywood actress famous for her role as the sharp-witted Wednesday in the legendary TV series The Addams Family. Her life was characterized by her childhood fame, her numerous marriages, and her career. On screen, her life seemed to be working out perfectly, but away from the lights and the cameras, she was just another normal girl with real-life challenges. This video features Lisa's house, her husband's children, her net worth, and finally how she ended up suffering from a stroke, which ultimately led to her demise. Lisa the actress. Lisa Loring, born Lisa Ann DeCinces, was an American actress and former child model. She grew up in Los Angeles, California, and began her career as a professional model. At the time, she was just 3 years old. After gaining attention as a model, she transitioned into film and television work. She is primarily known for her role as Wednesday Addams in the comedy-horror sitcom The Addams Family. Her appearance in this series propelled her to the pinnacle of fame, making her a household name. She is said to have been involved in a couple of relationships and also got married 4 times. But more recently, she had a stroke caused as a result of hypertension and unfortunately passed on. In this video, we'll look at her house, children, husband, and net worth before her unfortunate passing. Lisa's house. Lisa is said to have lived in a house that is now abandoned. What could be the story behind this? Let's find out. Although it is not publicly known whether Lisa owned any houses or real estate, it is a common habit for actors to live in apartments or other rental properties, particularly when their work involves frequent travel or changes in location. Lisa was no exception, but because her career wasn't picking up anymore, it made it even more difficult to acquire one, and not just that, but get one that suited her taste. Most celebrities prefer to live in luxurious homes that complement their social status, and these types of homes do not come cheaply. Hence, she most likely preferred to rent such luxury apartments for some time. Lisa Loring's relationships. As interesting as her on-screen character was, Loring also lived a complicated life. She was married 4 times during her lifetime. Was this because she grew up with a single mother or born into a broken home? Was she lacking parental affection, or did the absence of a father figure in her life prompt her bad choices of men? To find out, keep watching. At the age of 15, Lisa got married to her childhood sweetheart, Farrell Mark Faumberg. This was in the year 1973. She gave birth to her daughter Vanessa that same year. The couple divorced in 1974. The marriage lasted for only a year. At the same time, Judith Loring, Lisa Loring's mother, died from chronic alcoholism. From that moment on, Lisa had to provide for herself and her baby. Seeing how her marriage to her childhood boyfriend crashed after just a year, one would wonder if the two were ever in love or just acting out of youthful lust. One would expect Lisa to take a break before moving into another relationship. However, in 1981, Loring married again, and this time it was to her co-star, the soap opera actor Doug Stevenson. He was a contract performer on the CBS Procter & Gamble soap opera, Search for Tomorrow. They had a daughter, Mary Ann, early in their marriage, but they got a divorce after 2 years of being married. This was in 1983. Loring, who now had 2 beautiful little girls from her 2 failed marriages, was tasked with the responsibility of taking care of them, seeing that there was mostly little or no child support from her ex-husbands. She needed to work, yet due to the halt in her career at the time, it was challenging for her to secure a good role. Fortunately, she landed a job on the set to shoot an adult film, although this might not have been her ideal choice at the time. She needed the money, so she took the job anyway. Loring worked as a makeup artist and an uncredited writer in the adult film Tracy's Big Trick in 1987. While on that set, she was introduced to the adult film actor Jerry Butler, whose birth name was Paul David Cederman. They got talking and then started dating. They were married almost immediately in 1987, but their relationship was very turbulent. Before they married, Jerry Butler promised to give up his career as an adult film star. However, as the years passed, he began to secretly participate in making adult movies without Loring's knowledge. This was because his new job paid so little, and he desperately needed to cater to his wife's needs. He had always admitted that he had grown addicted to the lifestyle. As time went by, Lisa Loring eventually discovered the truth and expressed her dissatisfaction with Butler for breaking his promises and resuming his involvement in adult films. In an interview with Dateline NBC in the 1990s, Butler described himself as addicted to the lifestyle. He was ashamed of this behavior and the effects it had caused on his marriage. Despite several attempts at reconciliation, the marriage still failed. They divorced each other in 1992 after being married for 5 years. This was also the year Butler began to exit the hardcore adult film industry and, by choice, virtually disappeared from the public eye for many years. He later published a book about his time as an adult film star and the industry's secrets. Loring had no child with Jerry Butler, so it was much easier to part ways and move on. Loring was married for a 4th time. This turned out to be her last and final marriage. In 2003, she married Graham Rich, and the marriage lasted 11 years. However, the couple wasn't always happy in all those years. After 5 years of being married in 2008, the couple separated, and although they remained married, they lived like singles. After 6 years of separation in 2014, they divorced each other. Loring had no children with Graham Rich, despite the fact that their marriage was the longest. Lisa Loring's career. Loring started working as a child model in 1961. She eventually took a few acting roles and reportedly guest starred in a 1964 episode of the medical drama Dr. Kildare. She was properly introduced to the limelight when she was cast to play Wednesday in The Addams Family. Loring was only 6. It was her first regular role in television. While auditioning for this role, she had no idea how to read, so her mother and grandmother helped her learn the lines. In an interview, she said, "I had to learn to memorize before I could read," she recalled. Loring once described her Wednesday role as sweet-natured but gloomy. According to some show fans, Loring interprets the character as a young girl who derives joy from collecting crepe pets, including a black widow spider named Homer and a lizard named Lucifer. She was frequently seen playing with a headless doll. Fans fell in love with her gruesome style. She removed doll heads on a mini guillotine, her pet lizard, Lucifer, and her black widow pet spider. The spider was featured in every scene. Lisa's white-collared goth attire in the series inspires horror fans. She immortalized the character with her adorable innocence, and with this amazing performance, she attained peak fame. The series lasted for 2 seasons and 64 episodes, ending in 1966. When The Addams Family ended, Lisa Loring was immediately cast as Susie in the limited series The Pruitts of Southampton. David Levy, the producer of her previous series, was one of the makers of this show. Most of the cast from The Addams Family were in the short sitcom that ran for a year on television from 1966 to 1967. The story behind this sitcom was that the Pruitts were a formerly wealthy family who still lived in their noble mansion in the Hamptons. The Internal Revenue Service, IRS, had discovered their loss of wealth, but instructed them to maintain their pretenses of great wealth to avoid a potential loss of confidence in the financial system. Episodes revolved around the family's efforts to raise money while maintaining secrecy. The Pruitts of Southampton failed to create magic among the audience, so it wasn't renewed for a second season. Lisa Loring continued to feature on television. She appeared in the series The Girl from UNCLE in 1966, Barnaby Jones in 1973, and Fantasy Island in 1978. As time passed, her appearance in television films became less frequent during the late 1970s. Loring was cast as Wednesday Sr. in the television film Halloween with the New Addams Family. This was in 1977. Wednesday was portrayed in the film as having a look-alike younger sister, known as Wednesday Jr. Jennifer Surprenant played this role. This film showcased most of the original cast of the 1964 series of The Addams Family. It did not perform as expected among the viewers, and eventually Lisa moved forward with other acting opportunities. Loring joined the cast of the soap opera As the World Turns. She portrayed Cricket Montgomery, a half-sister of the regular character Margot Montgomery Hughes. This was in 1980. Loring continued appearing in the series until 1984. Loring's acting career was at a standstill, as she was not getting any roles until she agreed to be featured in the slasher film Blood Frenzy in 1987. Its storyline was that a killer stalked the patients of psychiatrist Dr. Barbara Shelley, played by Wendy MacDonald, during their trip through a desert. The film's plot reportedly combined plot elements from the earlier films 10 Little Indians from 1974 and Friday the 13th from 1980. The film was an early attempt by adult film producer Hal Freeman to create his horror films. It was made on an estimated $100,000 budget. The film did not perform well at the box office, and a subsequent follow-up was subsequently canceled. Loring also co-starred in the horror film Iced in 1988. Its storyline was that a group of old friends received invitations to a new ski resort. They reunite there but are trailed by a killer who has a mysterious connection to their past. Loring's performance and humorous dialogue were reportedly among the film's highlights. The film failed to generate significant box office collections. However, the film has a relatively poor reputation among horror fans due to soap opera-like plot elements and an inconclusive ending to its mystery. It was her last notable role for several years. By the early 1990s, as a result of the massive and rapid decline in her career, Loring was feeling depressed, and her poor relationship with her husband made the situation even worse. Instead of seeking medical help or going for therapy, she tried to self-medicate her condition, leading to a substance addiction. Loring most likely inherited a high affinity towards getting addicted from her mother, reason for her inability to control the situation. In 1991, Loring received a call from her friend Kelly Van Dyke stating that she had a serious problem. Loring immediately got ready and headed to her apartment, only to be welcomed with the shocking sight. Her friend Kelly had committed suicide by hanging herself. Loring was the first person to discover the corpse of her friend Kelly Van Dyke. This left her in a fragile state of mind. Considering all her mind had gone through over time, she was very unstable, and in a moment of weakness, she also attempted to commit suicide, not long after her friend's demise. In 1992, she went to rehab and was able to beat her addiction. She gave a few interviews in the mid-1990s, but partially retired from acting. She resumed her acting career in the mid-2010s with appearances in 2 horror films. Lisa Loring's children. Lisa Loring was the mother of 2 beautiful girls. She had her first daughter, Vanessa Ann Faumberg, for her teenage sweetheart, Farrell Mark Faumberg, when she was 15. This implies that Vanessa has been with her since she was a teenager, meaning they have grown together. She had a second daughter, Marianne Stevenson, with her second husband, Doug Stevenson. Although there are no public records of her relationship with her children, her actions show that she loved them. She was doing everything she could to earn money to support them. The fact that they held her hands while she took her last breath shows that their relationship was deeply rooted. Lisa has been described as a friendly, kind, and loving mother. Lisa's tragic death. Lisa Loring was said to have passed on as a result of a stroke caused by hypertension at Providence St. Joseph Medical Center in Burbank, California on January 28, 2023 at the age of 64. Annually, 15 million people worldwide suffer a stroke. Of these, 5 million people pass on, and another 5 million are left permanently disabled, placing a burden on families and communities. Stroke is uncommon in people under 40 years. When it does occur, the main cause is high blood pressure. Lisa was unfortunately among the 5 million people who pass as a result of a stroke. When a stroke is caused by hypertension, it means that high blood pressure is the primary contributing factor leading to the stroke. High blood pressure weakens blood vessels, making them more susceptible to damage, rupture, or blockage, all of which can cause a stroke. Smoking complicates this situation by increasing blood pressure, damaging blood vessels, and increasing the risk of blood clots. Her friend Lori Jacobson posted on her Facebook page, Loring is in our hearts always as Wednesday Addams. She also stated in her post that Loring had suffered a massive stroke brought on by smoking and high blood pressure. She added that Loring was a beautiful, kind, loving mother. Lisa's legacy in the world of entertainment is huge, Jacobson wrote. The legacy for her family and friends is a wealth of humor, affection, and love that will long play in our memories. R.I.P. Lisa. Loring's daughter, Vanessa Faumberg, has confirmed the news, stating that Loring, her mom, passed as a result of a stroke. In her words, she said, she left peacefully with both her daughters holding her hand. Loring's agent confirmed to CBS News that she passed surrounded by family, adding that she was a mother, grandmother, and friend with a lifetime of amazing stories and experiences. Butch Patrick, who played Eddie Munster on the TV show The Munster, posted on Facebook stating that, "Very sorry to hear of my friend Lisa Loring's passing. We were very close and worked together often. I know she was very weak. I was in her company just a few weeks ago. Godspeed, my friend." Loring's timeless portrayal of Wednesday Addams and her other performances have left a lasting impact and will continue to be cherished for generations to come. Her fans missed her. Lisa Loring's net worth. Lisa Loring's estimated net worth stands at approximately $500,000 as of 2023. This figure reflects years of work in the entertainment industry, primarily stemming from her acting career, which, despite its early success, has seen a gradual decline over time. Loring gained widespread recognition and a dedicated fan base for her portrayal of the iconic Wednesday Addams in the beloved television series The Addams Family. This character became a cultural touchstone and remains a significant part of her legacy. However, after her breakout role, Loring's acting career struggled to maintain the same level of visibility and success. She participated in various projects over the years, but none reached the heights of early fame. As the entertainment industry continues to evolve, it demands constant visibility, often driven by social media engagement. Unfortunately, Loring demonstrated little interest in maintaining a social media presence, which has become an essential tool for many actors to connect with fans, promote projects, and potentially attract new opportunities. Without an active online presence to rejuvenate her career or attract new opportunities, Loring found it increasingly challenging to build on her earlier successes. Her talent as an actress was undeniable, but the landscape of Hollywood has changed significantly over the years, often favoring those who can leverage modern platforms to their benefit. Thus, while she will always be remembered for her portrayal of Wednesday and the charm she brought to that character, Lisa Loring's career trajectory showcases the unpredictable nature of show business and the importance of adapting to an ever-changing environment. Lisa Loring's life. In 1958, Loring was born on the Kwajalein Atoll, the southernmost part of the Marshall Islands. The island is about 2,100 nautical miles, 3,900 kilometers, and 2,400 miles southwest of Honolulu, Hawaii. It has hosted an American naval base since World War II. Her parents were both personnel of the United States Navy. Loring's parents separated shortly after her birth, and Judith Loring, Loring's mother, received her custody. Her formative years were spent in Hawaii. Lisa's mother got discharged from the United States Navy about a year later, so she moved herself and Lisa to Los Angeles, California. In a bid to get a source of income, she began to try out acting. She began to audition for television shows. At one of those auditions, there was an opening for a child actor, so they let Lisa try out for the part. She was just 3 years old at the time. She started modeling at age 3 and gained prominent attention for her charming babyish looks. She debuted with a guest appearance on the 1964 medical drama Dr. Kildare. The tiny character role was enough to get her noticed in the television industry. She landed a life-altering classic historical role on the hit series The Addams Family, shown from 1964 to 1966. Lisa Loring was initially 5 years and some months old during the shooting of the series, but when the movie premiered, she was 6 years old. She bagged the timeless, iconic role of Wednesday Addams on The Addams Family. The eccentric Gothic Addams Family captured the attention of the audience for 2 seasons. The show was based on the ghoulish characters created by New York Magazine cartoonist Charles Addams. Lisa received the role because of her pout. The gloomy, pigtailed girl with a foreboding nature instantly inspired dozens of Gothic character spins in the future versions of the epic show. The original Wednesday Addams sported a cherubic face with an obsession over death. Fans fell in love with her gruesome style of decapitating doll heads on a mini guillotine, a pet lizard named Lucifer, and her Black Widow pet spider that featured in every scene. Lisa's white-collared goth attire in the series inspires horror fans. She immortalized the character with her adorable innocence, and the show ran for 2 seasons and ended in 1966. One of the most amazing episodes on the show was the one where Lurch learns how to dance. Lurch receives his annual invitation to the butler's ball, which he ignores as usual because he can't dance. The family hires a dance tutor but fails due to his frequent fainting spells. The family then decides to teach Lurch how to dance, which ultimately worked. By then, Wednesday Addams had attained peak fame. Lisa's acting career had kicked off and she was doing well. However, something was still left for her to learn. She needed to learn how to read, so she needed to pursue a formal education. Lisa attended Everly High School in Everly, Iowa, and graduated in 1985. She then studied at Spencer School of Business, Iowa Lakes Community College, and Buena Vista University, earning a bachelor's degree. She was ready to launch into the movie industry with her completed education. Lisa Loring proves that even when someone gets to their lowest level, they can still get back up and start all over again and become whatever they desire. What can you say about Lisa Loring's life? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe. Before you go, click on the video displayed on your screen.